Thank you all for being here. Yes, I have been working on AI for almost 40 years now, so several of those hypes and winters and summers I was around. And it's my pleasure to talk to you a little bit about responsible AI, why not, what for, and so on. And I hope to start discussion and to have a fruitful discussion today. I know that there are many students in the rooms. Just for the students, and if you cannot keep the attention very long, I will concentrate all my talk in one slide, and then we can continue with more details. The main point to bring up is that AI is not neutral. It can do very good, it can do very bad, it can help us, it can undermine us. It embodies our choices. And governing AI, doing responsible AI, is about governing ourselves, being ourselves responsible. And moreover, for the more technical oriented between you, the current approach to AI is not inevitable. And technically is also, I would dare, not the best. We are being more lazy than we are doing anything progressive. So that is kind of my whole message in one slide, but let's go a little bit more in detail why I'm saying these things. At this moment, we are led to believe that better AI is we need more to do it better. We need more data. We need more computing power. We need stronger and more powerful algorithms. Yes, the way we are doing it today, that is probably true. Although, like just we heard before, this hype might be bursting. And if you are interested in the burst, on December 8th, we are holding a webinar online exactly to discuss the burst of AI or not burst of AI with prominent researchers in the field, from Gary Marcus and Dame Wendy Hall to some more local people here in Sweden. So join us online. Anyway, more data. Yes, we need more data, but more data leads to a world that is not the one where we would like to live. In this world, the inclusion is very low, the discrimination, the fairness, the bias is huge. It is also a world in which 50% of that blue bubbles are in the hands of 12 organizations. Let that sink. One of those organizations is in Europe. Let that sink. It's a world where computing power is increasingly needed, but with that comes, I don't have to, this one, it used to be something which was amazing to a lot of people. Nowadays, fortunately, is not so amazing anymore, but it is still a choice. The investments we put on AI data centers and on computing power is investments that we don't put somewhere else. And that is a choice that we make, or that is made for us, or that we let be made. The changes and the choice is ours. And finally, the power of the algorithms is one which is not really done just by itself, and which comes with, again, a consequence. So AI, more is better, is one in which I would say we are getting to, and we need to understand that this AI that we are developing is neither intelligent nor artificial. It is different intelligent than what we would call a person to be intelligent. It's not that it's not useful, but it's a different type of construct, a different type of calculating results, of deciding about the world, and is not artificial because we are not able to do it without the work of many, many behind it. Not only the ones who develop the algorithms and so on, but all that army. It's a bit a small picture, that army of people which is living in and working in very bad labor conditions and are there every day, every moment, 24 hours a day, making sure that the algorithms that we use, the jokes that we make with ChatGPT, the images that we created are at least seemingly decent and not completely out of bounds. All that work is done by them. They work, again, the image is very bad. This was taken by colleagues of me in India. I have talked with some of these people as well. The ones you are seeing working, you don't see the ones who are sleeping under the tables, because they work in shifts of 12 hours, and they will change with each other. This is the reality of the AI that we are using today. Yes, we have very powerful algorithms, but the hype comes from them. So the impact of AI, and the bad and the good impact of AI, means that we are responsible. We are the ones who make the choice. We are the ones who decide how to use it, when to use it, and what for to use it. We can use it for good, we can use it for bad. So how can we be responsible if things are seemingly so far away from where we are, and seemingly so much bigger than what any one of us can do? So it starts by thinking about what are we doing with it. Is AI shaping us, or are us shaping AI? AI raises at this moment as many concerns as it solves. The concerns that it raises are definitely not the concerns that can be solved by the computer scientists and the engineers like myself. We need to use all disciplines to address those concerns. We cannot solve these concerns by technical algorithms or technical solutions alone. AI is not a means to replace humans, but it at this moment a means to misuse many humans around. But we do need human oversight to address all the concerns and the consequences of AI. Again, how can we do it? AI doesn't happen to us. There is a narrative going on that makes AI look like it is the weather. It happens, no one really knows where it comes from, it's much bigger than all of us, and the only thing we can do is try to protect us or to benefit from it. It's like the weather. We don't really control it, although someone say that for our part. But anyway, in general, we cannot really control the weather. What we can do is try to see, shall we take an umbrella and protect us from the rain, or shall we go to the beach instead of to the meeting because it's going to be a very nice day. AI is not the weather. We build it. AI is designed. AI is built by us. We, people, make the choices. And the first questions that we have to ask is, who is making these choices? Who is deciding? Is that us? Is that a couple of people in San Francisco? Which are the values that are guiding what we are building? We are building these things. We can design them in one way. We can design them in another way. We have many, many options when we are building stuff. Which are the values that are being considered? What are those values? And how are these values being prioritized? It starts also by what we call the question zero. At any moment during the development, but especially before we even decide anything, we need to ask ourselves, is AI the best option to whatever we are trying to address? So we need to ask, why are we using AI before we ask, how are we going to use AI? Why questions are questions that computer scientists and engineers don't know how to answer. We know how to solve problems. You give us a problem and we will solve it one way or another, but we never ask ourselves enough about why is it a problem, to whom is it a problem, and who is going to benefit best from the solutions that we create. Again, here, AI is multidisciplinary. We need other disciplines to address this type of questions. AI doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's not a thing that just exists by itself. It doesn't wake up in the morning and decides to do one thing or another. It is part of a much broader and much more complex social technical ecosystem. So all those ethics, regulation, responsibility, all these kind of issues we discuss are not about fixing the system itself, the program itself. It's about addressing this whole ecosystem. There is never a technological fix for a technological problem. We need to address those problems at a different level of abstraction with different tools than the ones that create the problems. So responsible AI is mostly about understanding that whatever solutions, whatever way we address responsible AI, we need to do it from the perspective of society. It's a societal issue, it's not a technical issue. And it starts by understanding that human rights are the foundation. We need to address the human-centeredness of what we are doing in order to legitimate what is being done, and in order also to create an environment in which we can trust the ones developing, the ones using, ourselves as users of AI, and with a way that there is a human foundation to what we are doing. So a lot of the work, and just when they were introducing me, you mentioned a lot of the issues that I'm doing. So all this governance work around AI, the regulation, the guidelines, the principles, and so on, we can say a lot about it. I can go on and on with this type of issues, but maybe just for the time and for create images sometimes are a bit more easier to understand than the whole complexities of the issues. We don't accept to go from here back to the center of the city in a car that has no brakes, no seat belts, no airbags, which is driven by someone with without a driver's license, and in roads in which there are no traffic signs at all. That would be unthinkable, also for those that develop and build the cars. It is the same if we are building bread toasters. If you buy a bread toaster, you don't expect to have to go home and first check if all the wires are in the right place. We do need to have some guidelines, some rules for what we are doing. Without rules, there is no game, there is no race, no one really wins if we want to go into the race metaphor that people are using. We do need ground rules. Without ground rules, if there is no traffic rules outside, you wouldn't know in which side of the road to go with your car. You wouldn't know when or where to cross the road. You wouldn't know when or where to stop and to which cars to let go first. Without rules, we cannot have innovation. And creating these rules is in itself innovation. So when we talk about that innovation in AI is going to be limited by the rules that we are putting on it, we are actually telling ourselves the biggest lie that we could tell. Without rules, there is no possible innovation. There is no innovation that can be trusted. There is no innovation that can be beneficial for anyone, including the ones that are innovating. But this governance, this regulation is not just about forbidding stuff, which is kind of the idea that when we talk, especially in Europe, when we talk with people about the AI Act, the GDPR, and all those things that unfortunately even the European Commission is trying to forget and to ignore. But I will not go on that one because I would be here forever. But it is not just about forbidding people to do things. It's about providing an environment in which we know what we can be doing, we know why we are doing what we want to do with our innovation, and we can trust that all of that fits together for the benefit of the society in which we are living. So, to operationalize, to create this space in which we can live and can govern AI in a way that is human-centered and beneficial. We can think about doing it through regulation, so creating rules like the AI Act, which is a risk-based approach, but that's again, a choice, doesn't need to be designed in that way. Rules and laws don't have to be prohibitions, can also be incentives. At the same time, laws by themselves don't really provide the whole environment. We need also to think about standards. Standards are not mandatory to follow, but are a very well and demonstrated way to provide organizations with limits for liability, with a way that they know that the products they are and the service they are developing can be integrated with other ones that are developing things. So it is a much softer way to govern. At the same time, we also can look at governing AI, by designing the organizational structures and the procedures. And I'm here in the economic and management school, you know much better than me how to do these things. So organizing the way that we use, develop, and deploy AI systems within organizations, such that we can have the trust that things are being done in a proper way, and that there are ways to monitor and to audit what is being done. We need to look at how can we assess, how can we check, verify that AI that we are developing is trustworthy and responsible. And of course, nothing of this can be done without better awareness and more education and training. So there is many ways to go. It's not just about forbidding people to do whatever they want to do, which is kind of the easy way out when people talk about responsible AI or about governing AI systems. All in all, we need to start looking at AI as a new paradigm for AI. The good of AI winters is that it forces us to rethink what we are doing. At this moment, like I said at the beginning, we are taking a very lazy approach to develop AI. We are believing or led to believe that by putting more data and creating stronger algorithms, we will get to a better, whatever that means, AI models and applications. I think that fundamentally at this moment we need to change that paradigm. We need again to move from what we have now, the transformers, the large language models, to the next step. What is that step? I don't really know, but I do know, and also from seeing what has been in the past, not only in AI, but also in many other disciplines, including computer science in itself, we do need to start thinking about and addressing AI is not the solution to all our problems, and definitely LLMs and the transformers are not the only way through which we can represent and model decision-making and intelligence. We need to start again thinking about alternatives. We need to, those alternatives that can address inherent risks of bias and discrimination, that can be providing transparency and that can accommodate different contexts and values. I come from what people call nowadays the old-fashioned AI, the symbolic AI, the reasoning models, which indeed had all kinds of problems, but they had one thing. They were fully transparent and fully understandable by explainable. So it's not that we have to go back to the good old-fashioned AI, but we do need to change the belief that by creating black boxes and making them bigger and bigger, somehow a miracle will happen and things will be fixed. We need to think beyond disciplines to integrate the social and the technical expertise in AI design, and we need to address and include wider variety of societal actors. It's not just about the technologists. But at the same time, we have to develop this technology in a way that is verifiable, that is sustainable, that is participatory, and that includes many different approaches. Responsible AI is not a choice, is not governance is also innovation. Innovation is not the sole property of technology. We have innovation in many other disciplines, in many other parts of our society. Also, innovation is not a race. There is no end line, no finish line in which we are going to determine who is winning this race. We can do much better by exploring. The way to really transform and to improve what we are doing is by exploring, by going in different ways, than to follow the leader in some kind of race. I really don't understand the European Commission believe that if we follow what other ones are doing, we will get to win the race. By definition, if you follow, you are never going to win. I don't know where it comes from. So we do need a different way. If we really want, in Europe, in Sweden, in the world in general, if we really want to move forward, we have to stop following the lead of whatever is being developed at this moment. AI is not unstoppable or inevitable. That's where I started my slides as well. The decisions we are making today are going to determine what AI will be in the next few years in the future. It's going to determine, are we going to use it as empowerment or a source for empowerment or a source for control and inequality. I fear at this moment that we are very much more, if we follow the leaders, in the second than in the first. But if they just mentioned my book, which is coming in February, the greatest AI paradox is that the smarter we make these systems, the more we realize that we cannot do it without human wisdom. We are not never being replaced by the systems that we build. Thank you.